All right. Hey, good morning, guys. Melissa here. So I want to talk about work right now. I have a situation that I passed on work today, and I probably will not be taking this job. Um, Basically, when I took this job, this person said she had this work, and it was really scattered communication. It was, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't get back to you about this, and I didn't get back to you about this basic stuff, right? And then when she wanted me to work, it was like that day. And I'm like, I already have plans for today, so no. So I took this job the other day, and it was, I mean, I worked my butt off, and it was, can you come in right now? Basically, didn't have time for breakfast. My whole morning routine was just off, right? And I thought, well, you want the work, do it. So I ran out the door. I mean, I had my morning routine in place, got dressed, brushed my teeth, brushed my hair, didn't have time for breakfast, ran out the door, 2 miles down the road to the bus stop. I had luckily the bus was delayed and I had just made the bus, and then the wrong bus, the wrong 19 I got on, so I had to back circle around to get to this job. So I really put a lot of effort in, and basically the job was, here's your stuff, here you go, read the instructions to the whole home, and there's your job. So there was no training, and so last night at 10 o'clock I got a message about, I was waiting to work yesterday. So I finally got a message, and put your schedule into place. So my night routine saved me from a headache last night. I did wake up with a migraine this morning and took some Advil, but it saved me from stress. So 10 o'clock at night, I mean, yesterday I got no response about work. She was supposed to check all my work. I was waiting for her to come in and check my work. And she's like, oh, just leave. I'm not going to check it. I'm like, okay. She's like, I'll check it later. So I left around 5. So I worked from like 10:30 till 5 on a house, and we started late. I was there at 9, and she didn't get there till 10:30, so we started late, which gave me less time to do the home. So I contacted her. I'm like, okay, I'm not hearing from her. It's her job to contact me. So I waited until like afternoon yesterday, and I'm like, hey, I haven't heard from you. I hope you were happy with the cleaning yesterday. So 10 o'clock at night, I get a message. I'm like, I'm not getting it. I'm not dealing with work issues at 10 o'clock at night. So I already had my evening routine in place, and I'm just so glad I did not make that decision last night. So this morning, once I got my Advil taken care of, I looked at my texts, and there were one text after another, after another, after another. And I'm just like, thank goodness I did not deal with this last night. So, so the messages were, I know this was your first time, and your first time being trained. And I'm thinking I wasn't trained. You threw me into it. I wasn't trained. So she's like, towels were left on the counter. And I'm like, oh, well, that was so and so who left them there. Um, because after I did the cleaning, someone came in and they're like, this is how we want the place set up. And she moved the chairs, she staged the place differently, she wanted things done that were not on the checklist. So a lot of bosses will pass the buck down. They'll just blame it on the worker, right? When they haven't been told things. So I had this list, like, you didn't clean the glass under the glass table, you didn't wipe the laundry detergent container, and I'm just like, you know what? It wasn't on the list. And plus, there wasn't enough time to do everything. At the end, there was still more to do, but they're like, you got to get this done by 4 because, and not that I was told that, but you got to get it done by 4 in case we have people coming in for Airbnb use. So I wasn't even given like the time schedule that I needed to have, like not like a real strong line, we have to be out of here, until it was time. So I did struggle with the beds. The beds had this new thing that I asked for help with. it's like a duvet cover, and you have to like roll the comforter in the duvet, and it's a real pain. So I was sent a video when I said I was struggling with it, and then I just watched a different video to get it down better. But they're a real pain in the butt to do, so that took me a little while. I wasn't told not to strip the beds that were already taken care of. I didn't know if it was clean or dirty, so I put clean sheets on all of them, so that could have saved me time if the beds were not used. So anyways, there were just things, that I mean, it was just like, you didn't tell me. But I said, I will take responsibility if you saw streaks on the back door. So there was just a lot of accusations rather than the communication. So I put a hold on everything and I said, look, you can get back to me. This is what I saw. This is my perspective on everything, and let me know. I need the communication before I take another step, basically. We need to talk about these things that you have said. So I'm in the position now where I've worked a lot of jobs, and before I probably would have taken the blame of, all that stuff that she tried to put on me. But now, being a little smarter, I know that, in any job, communication's the key. You want to be able to communicate. So the last few jobs too that I've had, people do not want to train. They just don't want to train. They don't have the time. They just expect you to get everything, and if you don't, the company does blame it on you. So I did enjoy the work, but I think I'm probably going to pass on the job just because of the way the management is already. I mean, there's a lack of commitment, which is important to me. There's a lack of consistency in her communication. So as I've been studying this week too on different companies and how they're run, there's a real strong sense of there should be I got your back, there should be teamwork, there should be I support you. So, at this point, I'm thinking, pretty soon I may want to open my own business because the cleaning business is tough. The cleaning business, you will go through one person after another. It's I think worse than the restaurant business. Restaurants have high turnaround, but I think the cleaning business is even worse. It's really tough, and I've been through a lot of cleaning jobs. Um, for like what, one of them I got laid off, another one was a layoff. Um, One person accused me of stealing vacuums at a bank when the cameras were right there. So how would I have done that? um there's just a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, and you want a really good company to work for. So that's my advice today for work. And I told my boss to have a great day because I've got my own things to do, and I don't have time for the baloney, basically. So make sure you have your boundaries up when you work for people, and you know how you operate. I mean, she had a job for me this morning after texting me late at night, like now, and it's like, there was no notice, there was no, this is what your schedule is going to look like so you can prepare. So I think she has her hands full with 70 houses or something. And if it was me, I would keep my business small. I wouldn't be taking on more than I can handle. So that's what I got for you now for work, guys. Thanks for joining me.